So this is our other mat board cutter. I'm going to show you, you can do both straight cuts, outside cuts, and also window beveled cuts on this one. I'll show you the straight cuts first. First thing you want to do when you come here is check to make sure where the blade is. You have two sides. This is for the beveled, this is for the outside. Right now the blade is sitting on the beveled cut, but we want to do the outside cut first. So what you do is you take this as the lock, it locks the blade in. What you do is you twist it all the way out. We only have one lock, so you have to switch sides with it along with the blade. So unscrew it all the way. You just pull the blade out. Make sure this curved part stays on top. That'll ensure that the sharp part of the blade is facing down. It goes into the back. You just drop it in until it drops all the way in. Come around to the other side and screw this all the way in. Make sure it's tight. Also, there's a spring lock here, so if you ever come and this doesn't go up and down, there's a little spring lock here. If it ever, sometimes it'll pop out, so just like that. If it pops out, it'll lock down and it won't come up. So if you ever experience that, just push that in, twist it a little, and it should pop up and down. So one of the other things you want to do is your mat board is part of your presentation, so you want to try and keep it clean. So I'll grab a paper towel or something, lift the clamp, and just kind of wipe down the surface area. Just kind of get a lot of debris out of the way, even this clamp area. That'll help keep your board nice and clean. Same thing on the guillotine, is we use a scrap board to cover the trough. That'll keep your board from fraying. You just lay that down there. Lower the clamp on it. Okay. The blade does not cut flush against this, and so with using this one, you kind of want to use a ruler and pencil, mark out what you want on your board. So what you'll do is you'll lay your mat board down here. We have this guide here to keep it straight. Lay down the clamp. Just kind of work it out until you can see your marks. Try to keep that under your board. This doesn't matter if it's all that straight, as long as it's covering the trench where the blade goes. So just kind of work out your marks. It's pretty close to the edge, but it's not flush. So what I'll do is I'll push it up against the guide, work it out. Okay, then I'll bring the blade out and check to see where it's coming down. Okay, and it's right there on my mark. Okay, if it's in place. If it's not in place, then go ahead and work it until the blade matches up with your marks. Make sure your board is right up against this guide to keep it straight, so you get a nice straight cut. So what you'll do is you'll come out past your board, push the blade down, and make sure it works into the scrap board. And use your other hand to keep pressure on there. Don't overdo it. You just need a little light pressure just to keep your board in place. It's going to be a little snug and a little hard, so you want to pull, and it just kind of glides back. And then it just cuts right off like that. Some people will do a lighter cut. They won't press down very hard. They'll just do a couple passes. They find it easier that way. Especially if it's an older blade. If you get an older blade and you see a lot of fraying going on, ask one of the TAs for a brand new blade, and it should cut really nicely.